How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech, and today we're going to talk about AirPods. More specifically, AirPods battery and how to make your AirPods battery last much longer. So you're probably familiar with Apple's numbers. So Apple says that the AirPods Pro lasts 4.5 hours of listening time per charge, and then the regular AirPods, they last around 5 hours. But you probably don't get those hours, do you? Because I certainly didn't before following those tips. So without further ado, let's get started and let me show you how you can get many more hours of listening time and of course talk time as well. So for tip number one, we're gonna need our iPhone because we're gonna be playing with the EQ. So all you have to do is go to your settings and then scroll all the way down to music. So tap on music. And then you're going to scroll down a bit more and check EQ under playback. So as you can see, as you tap on EQ, a lot of people have this turned on, especially for bass booster. And the thing is, EQ actually drains quite a lot of your AirPods battery because especially if you're using the bass booster, it's going to demand much more from your AirPods to give you that extra punch, that extra bass, than if it was turned off. Okay, so if the EQ was turned off, it demands much less. So my tip here is turn off your EQ and have a much better autonomy on your AirPods. Keep in mind that this process here of going to settings and music is only good for Apple Music, right? As you can imagine, you have music here, so it's only good for Apple Music. So if you use Apple Music, you can do this, you can follow this, and then it's gonna be good for you. But if you use Spotify, for example, or any other streaming service, make sure to go to their specific EQ, so Spotify's EQ inside the Spotify app, and make sure to turn it off as well if you want to get more battery life. Tip number two is all about temperature, and I'm talking about external temperature, so the ambient temperature. And that's because, like all other modern gadgets, the AirPods use lithium-ion batteries. So the AirPods have that. The iPhone uses the same lithium-ion battery, same material, of course, the Apple Watch as well. So every modern gadget uses lithium-ion battery. And the thing is, lithium-ion batteries, they hate extreme temperatures. So if in your environment, if you're in a place where the temperature is extremely high or extremely low, that's going to be bad for your battery. Not only, of course, for that specific charge you have on them right now, but for the long run as well. So if you're going to a beach, for example, and it's super hot, at least make sure to protect your AirPods. Don't let them in straight contact to the sun. Same thing if you are in a freezing cold environment, like don't put them on the snow or anything like that, because don't let them get too cold or too hot. Otherwise, your battery is gonna drain so fast and it's gonna degrade much faster in the long run. Next tip is actually kind of funny because it's something that we all do and we never think it could be harmful. And that is the fact that we love opening and closing the lid, right? Playing with the lid like it's a little toy. And the thing is, when you do that, every single time you do that, so the fact of opening them up, you see that you get an animation on your iPhone or on your iPad or anywhere else. And that animation is triggered by the chip inside the AirPod. So it may be the W1 chip or the H1 chip that all AirPods have. So every single time you open the lid, that chip is actually activated, is actually sending a signal to all nearby iOS devices, because that's how you get that pop-up notification right here. So if you do that all the time, you are constantly activating, triggering the chip inside the AirPods, and you're just wasting your battery. So don't do that unless, like this AirPod right here, which is dead on battery. Okay, that's fine because that's completely dead. But if you have charge on your AirPods and if you don't want to drain them fast, don't do it. Now let's bring back the iPhone because I have some other settings we can play with in order to get much more battery life. So let's go to settings, and we're going to scroll up this time, go to Bluetooth, and make sure you have your AirPods connected like I do at the moment. They're actually in my ears. So as you guys can see, Daniel's AirPods Pro, okay, right here. And as you can see here, the first thing I'm going to talk about is automatic ear detection. Keep in mind that this feature is available on both, like first generation and AirPods Pro, like second generation, of course, as well. And as the name suggests, automatic ear detection is that feature that will allow your AirPods to identify when they are in your ears or out. So let's say you're playing a song, okay, there's a song playing, and as soon as I remove my AirPods from my ears, you can see that the play button changes. So of course it pauses because I removed from my ears. I'm gonna put it back in, and then as you can see, it plays again automatically. And this is extremely useful. This is awesome. This is extremely convenient, but this means that there's a sensor on your AirPods always on, trying to feel if they're in or out. So if you want to get more, if you want to maximize your battery usage, of course, you can just turn it off and then have more battery. Now let's talk about Siri. So if you open up your settings again and scroll down to Siri and search, as you guys can see, we have the first option being listen for Hey Siri. And I have it turned off on my iPhone, but if you have them turned on, it means that your AirPods are going to be always and constantly with the microphones opened, trying to listen to that command, paying attention for that sentence, for that command. So it's going to drain battery. There's nothing you can do about it, just because it's going to be waiting for that Hey Siri. So turn them off. So they're not going to be listening anymore. And that's also very cool, because this is also going to benefit your iPhone's battery as well, since you're going to disable for both. So it's a win-win situation, really. Now, last but not least, on the settings, we have to scroll down a bit, go to Bluetooth again, go to the AirPods Pro settings part, and we're going to talk about noise control. And this feature is exclusive to the AirPods Pro. So if you use the noise control feature, you're definitely going to use much more battery than if you just turn them off completely. So if you turn them off, it means that your AirPods are not going to be using their smart thinking and microphones and processing and chips to actually analyze the environment. And as you know, transparency, we use the microphones to actually enhance the ambient noise. And noise cancellation, will use those same microphones to actually block, to cancel those external noises. So if you just go ahead and turn them off, they're not going to be using anymore any processing, microphones, chips, anything like that. It's just going to be your normal headphones, and you're going to use much less battery because of that. Now we have the last two features, and those are a little bit more obvious, but are just as important, or maybe even more than the ones I showed you before. First, we got to talk about volume. So this is pretty self-explanatory, pretty obvious. If you're using your AirPods at maximum volume all the time, top high volume all the time, you're definitely gonna get much less time of use on a single charge. And I mean, that's pretty obvious. So go ahead and try to use it at 70 or even 50% if you can, if you want to preserve much more battery. Okay, this is very important. A lot of people take it for granted, but it makes a huge difference. And last but not least, and this is truly the last thing I have to tell you right now, if you think your AirPods, even AirPods Pro or normal AirPods, just out of the blue, like the battery is really bad, like it decreased like for no apparent reason or something, you can always reset your AirPods. And the process of resetting is actually very easy, okay? All you have to do is actually, you open the lid and then you turn around, and there's a button right here, as you can see. Of course, there's the same thing on the normal AirPods. We have the button at the same place pretty much. So you can open the lid and press and hold that button. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm pressing right now. And as you can see, we're gonna have a blinking light here on the center, and that blinking light is gonna be blinking white. That's because it thinks it's in pairing mode. But if you keep holding like I am, keep holding for around a few more seconds, you're gonna see that it's gonna change to amber. So it's gonna flash in a red color. So by doing that, we just reset our AirPods. They're completely reset, okay? And as you can see, if I just open the lid, your AirPods are completely reset and you're just saying AirPods Pro connect like it's the first time you open them, like out of the box, and that's because they are reset. Keep in mind that this is not a magic solution or something like by doing that you're gonna get better battery life, not necessarily, but if you have tried absolutely everything, this is the last thing you can do, your last resort, and maybe it'll get you a little bit better battery after the whole reset process. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful to you in any way. If it was, please make sure to hit the like button down below and the subscribe button and the little bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new video. And also please make sure to hit the comment box below. Let me know your feedback. Let me know what you thought about this video. Again, if it was helpful to you and everything, it makes a huge difference to me reading all your comments. Okay, so that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in a few days. Bye bye.